and I'm just topping off the intro now after a severe haircut, which I did myself actually. I'm quite happy with it. I did it really short to show off the fact that I now have a nice shaped head. This is where the titanium plate sits here. So that gives me a nice round head again. Anyway, I'm quite excited to present this video because I'm going to show you a technique that some brilliant people from a team called the ADP team at GlaxoSmithKline, where I worked, taught me, and has been so useful to me during my recovery and return to work. So Alan, Erica, Carolina, Farah, Jason, and Audrey, thank you for teaching me this all those years ago. Oh dear. It was good enough to make Toyota great, so I thought it would do for me when I was prioritizing and pacing out my work. So hopefully when I record this video, hopefully when I put it up on YouTube, somewhere up here there'll be a link to part 1 of this video where we talk about the 4 P's of prioritization, pacing, position, etc. That they teach you to do when you're trying to manage fatigue as a brain injury survivor. So I'll put a link up to that, and I'll link it off the homepage of the blog as well. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the video. Bye.
It is recording.
Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you about the Kanban technique, which I've used a lot to help me with my fatigue. And I've also got a colleague joining me as well, who's going to look at this as well for his own benefit at work as well.
Managing my time.
Yeah.
Keeping track of the things I need to do, so that if I get distracted or if I finish one task, I don't move on to the next most juicy one.
Kanban is designed. It's designed around a few key principles, but it's designed to keep you on track, to make sure that you finish work before moving on to the next thing, and to avoid that kind of distraction that happens.
Yeah. Good.
So what I do once a week, every week. So the other concepts it has is something called standard work. So you do work in a consistent way at standard times. So every Monday morning, I have scheduled in my diary some time to create items in my backlog and select items and put them into the selected for the weekly work. So this backlog here, but I can add things to this backlog at any time. So I can create things here. So at the start of each week, I go, okay, what should I do? I think actually that one is one that I'm going to do this week. And I definitely need to do that one. So I just move it from the backlog into the selected for the weekly. There's this concept in Agile of a sprint, but it's essentially just the work that I really need to do this week, the sort of the non-negotiable stuff.
Yep.
So that goes into selected for the week, and then obviously on a Monday, then I decide what I'm actually going to do that day. So I know I'm definitely going to do that today, and I'm definitely going to do this one about the SciSec skills model today, because that's been delayed by a few days. Is there anything else? And I'll make sure I do it, update my timesheet as well. And I'm not going to do that timesheet review task today, but it is something I need to do this week, so I'll put in there.
Yeah.
So there's this concept as well that you limit the work in progress. So the thing is here, you can look at what you've got to do today and you can make an assessment. Do I think I could do that number of things? In fact, you can even put what's called a WIP limit, work in progress, WIP. So you can say, I'm not going to ever have any more than 4 tasks in here or 5 tasks or whatever. And obviously you can sequence these things and prioritize them into the first thing. So you see, I've got my physio exercises as well, which also go on here to remind me to do them. Although I also have an app that reminds me to do that too. But what I always do is at the start of that day, and I used to have a reminder to do this, but I don't need one now. I've done it so many times, I just do it by a sort of reflex action. I come in, I look at what the do today list is, and I prioritize it so that it's in order. So I'll pick the tasks up as we go. Timesheet at the end, that's fine. That's actually done. Done that one. So I'll put that into done. That was one from last week, which I didn't finish. Now, so obviously you can have an in progress one, but when you're using it like this, where all of the tasks are going to essentially be done in a day because they're small enough.
Yeah.
So you split the tasks down into small enough chunks they can be done in a day. So you don't need an in progress column. But if you want to do longer things, rather than split them down like this, you can have an in progress column here as well, so that one day you start something, it doesn't finish, you just put it into in progress, and that's fine. And I've got a blocked one as well. So if there's something that I needed to do, in fact, that one isn't blocked anymore, so I can bring that together over here. Now, the important thing.
And when you say blocked, you mean it's reliant on someone else doing something?
There's something that's stopping it being progressed by me at this point. So yeah, often it will be I'm dependent on somebody else to do something first,
yeah,
or a client, we're waiting for client feedback or whatever else. So just to remind me that it's there. The other thing you could always do, of course, if it's blocked, you could always take it from here at the start of the week and bring it back into your weekly sprint one, or put it back in the backlog selection once it's ready. So that's another good way. So we're limiting the work in progress. And what we're saying is we're not going to take something, we're never going to take something from here and put it into the do today column if we've already got, say, our work in progress limits. If we've already got 5 things here, we're not going to take this and say, okay, we're going to put it over here,
Yeah.
So it kind of limits us and stops us doing that. So until I can move things over into done, then it emphasizes the importance of finishing.
It's the prioritization of things, yeah.
Yeah. And it just enables you to stay focused. Now, the one thing I would recommend to anybody who's doing this at the start is, even if you're doing it to help you in a work concept, don't be scared of putting things on here that aren't related to work. And this is especially to the people I'm speaking here who are trying to use this to help them manage fatigue. Because if I need energy to take my wife on date night, that's going to go on here, and it's going to go in the do today, because I'm going to need to take breaks through the day so that at the end of the day, when it's time to go out to dinner, I've got sufficient energy to do that. So there's nothing wrong with that. There aren't hard and fast rules to how you do this. It's only a guide, what I'm showing you here. So the important thing is you customize it so it works for you. Don't feel locked into a way of doing it. But just try it out. A lot of people I've kind of showed this to have found it quite useful for managing fatigue and things like that. So yeah, and that's it really. And then great. Each week, each Monday, you can put things in the backlog at any point. That's fine. But each Monday, sequence the backlog and bring things over into your weekly sprint on that Monday morning. And obviously, for that Monday, you say, okay, the ones that are at the top here, you're going to move a few of them across into do today as well.
Yeah.
So it's just about consistency, really.
Yeah. And where do I go in Teams to start to build it out?
This particular one is now we do have a template now, Tom, which I can show you how to use that to do it. You can also do it in other platforms as well, like Trello is a free platform that's online in the cloud that people can use if they don't have access to Teams. So this is the Teams, or this is the Planner app. So you need to have a team. So I have one dedicated to my personal stuff over here. You can see I've also got one here for my blog as well, where I slam in as I get ideas for posts here. I put them in here so that when I'm doing my weekly blog, I can look at, okay, what could I do next?
Yeah. We thought of one the other day, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
It was about the supportiveness of your other half.
Yes. And we'll definitely do one. So Tom's going to take me fishing at some point. I shall definitely be doing a blog about that, because I've always wanted to learn how to do fly fishing. So it's going to be fun. And we're going to have a go on a wheelchair adapted boat. So it should be pretty cool. I'm very excited about it.
And safe and comfortable.
And safe and comfortable, yes. Because I think sitting on a bench seat for 3 hours would probably be beyond my endurance. So I don't really like using the chair now because I'm such a good walker, but sometimes it's a necessity that I have to accept, and it helps me to get through a day and manage my fatigue and enjoy the day, you know? So it's
if it helps you to enjoy something like sitting in a boat for a few hours, then
exactly, you just kind of think, yeah,
it means to an end, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much everything. But like the most important thing is make it your own and don't feel restricted by rules. Just go ahead and use it however works for you. You can customize these columns and add extra columns. Like I said, you can add in a in progress one. You can see here I've got one for the blog, recording or writing. And actually, I wrote one at the weekend, so I don't know. Oh, yes, I wrote this one about my therapy cat, Gene Catman, who exploded when I was squeezing him with my left hand. So that's in the editing column there. So I should go and update this at some point.
I think we were in a meeting at the time it exploded.
We were, and it was all over my shirt and all over the floor. I've got some very funny photos of it. So yes,
brilliant. That should be very useful for me, Matt. Thank you. And I hope anyone else who has a watch of this video finds it useful. But I'm going to go away and build one now. Are there any tips on how best to use it, as in make it a habit that it's the first 5 minutes of the day?
Yeah, I would say timetable some time on Mondays to do your timetable yourself 15-20 minutes on a Monday to get things into your weekly sprint. And then initially you might want to put either 0 time or 5-minute reminders on a daily basis, just to go in and look at what your daily tasks are. But what you'll find is quite quickly you'll get to a point where you start to do that automatically. It just becomes the way that you work, you know?
I hope so. Do you tend to go into it at the end of the day and things and move notes?
I move things around. Often I'll move things into done at the point I finish them, because it's really satisfying moving it into done as well. You kind of think, oh great, I've achieved something, and you look at what you've done in the day. You know, oh, that's brilliant, I've done these things that I wanted to do. It's excellent, you know.
Yeah, so that gives you reward.
It does give you a bit of reward for what you've done. Yeah, it's cool.
All right, nice.
How do I stop recording? This question. No problem.
I can go back on camera. Not that I went off it for any particular reason, but it's less. I'm less of a distraction to other people if that
question is, oh, there we are. There's stop recording.